Today we're decorating the garden library for Christmas, creating a vintage holiday mantle with old Shiny Brite ornament boxes, and antiquing for retro Christmas baubles to add to my collection. This year, I'm embracing my passion for the 1950s and only using vintage American-made glass ornaments on my Christmas trees. I've recently started to collect Shiny Brite ornaments, and I love visiting antique stores and searching for these beautiful Christmas balls in their original cardboard boxes. Since Shiny Brite ornaments were originally manufactured by the Corning Glass Company in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania, most of our antique stores have a decent supply of single ornaments in glass cases. But I like to make the hunt more interesting by only purchasing the beautiful baubles in their original boxes. I'm dreaming of a Christmas where every Shiny Brite box made between 1939 and 1963 is sitting on my garden library mantle. In our area, the boxes range in price from $12 to $150, and you have to be careful to check the ornament caps to assess whether or not the box is truly filled with Shiny Brite ornaments. When it comes to identifying Shiny Brite ornaments, I always turn to the experts. I still have a lot to learn about Shiny Brite ornaments, so I recently invested in a few books to help me out. This one has been incredibly helpful. It's called Vintage American-Made Glass Ornaments by Jody Pritzel. She has lots of pictures of the ornaments and how the caps should look during different periods of time. I was lucky enough to find a box of pre-war ornaments. Now, according to Jody, if we're looking at a pre-war ornament between 1939 and 1943, the caps are going to be scalloped and they're going to be marked made in the US of A. Now, what I look for normally are the corrugated caps that were made after 1947. So they switched from a scalloped cap to a corrugated cap, and then these ones made after 1947 are marked Shiny Brite, made in USA. Now, of course, the sellers might be changing out the caps on us, and that's another reason why I like to collect the ornaments in the boxes. At least I'm getting an authentic box, even if some of the ornaments are mixed up in a way and the caps are switched out. There were also caps made that were marked with 5, 10, and 15 stamp marks. I don't have any of those yet, but I'm always on the hunt for a new treasure. Shiny Brite was founded in 1937 by the German immigrant Max Eckardt. The inspiration for the name Shiny Brite came from the fact that the insides of the ornaments were coated with silver nitrate, which allowed them to stay shiny and bright season after season. Eckardt sought the help of Corning Glass Company to produce the ornaments. The switchover was a success, and Woolworths ordered more than 235,000 ornaments in their first year of production. By 1940, Corning was producing about 300,000 unadorned ornaments per day. They sent clear glass bulbs to outside artists, including those at Max Eckardt's factories for hand decoration. Then the ornaments were lined with silver nitrate, run through a lacquer bath, decorated by Eckardt's employees, and packaged into brown cardboard boxes. When you're out at the antique store, it's pretty common to see Shiny Brite ornaments with beautiful stripes. Now these ones, where there's no silver nitrate on the interior of the ball, may be from war times. However, upon further inspection of this ball, I think it's probably a post-war ornament. During the war, silver nitrate was in limited supply, so they were no longer able to put silver nitrate on the interior of the bulb, and they started to make these transparent bulbs, which looked a lot more like light bulbs. But this one has a Shiny Brite made in USA cap. And since Shiny Brite continued to make these transparent bulbs after the war, I'm thinking that this is actually a post-war ornament. But if you find a transparent bulb with a cardboard cap, you probably have a rare treasure from the mid-40s when the war was taking place. When it comes to collecting vintage ornaments, I think I'm in the minority because I prefer to purchase simple round ornaments over the intricate bells, icicles, teardrops, trees, finials, pine cones, and reflectors that were also made. Many of these ornaments were decorated with mica snow, and I love seeing how this snow has aged from pure white to dusty ivory at the antique stores. Shiny Brite ornaments were the most popular in the United States throughout the 1940s and the 1950s. The fact that they were an American-made product was stressed as a selling point during the war, and the front of the original 1940s boxes features Uncle Sam shaking hands with Santa. This box came in green and red. The green box is the most common in our area, and I've only seen and purchased the red box online. Most of my Shiny Brite ornaments are simple balls, but I have been able to collect a few of the more intricate fancies. So we have a reflector here, a gold reflector. I think this one is probably from the mid-50s. We have what they called a twist, and you can see the cap there, Shiny Brite, made in USA. We have a party lantern right here. Then we have a barrel. And finally, we have a grape cluster. And that one doesn't have any cap on it. I'm guessing the cap just came off in the box. But these are really fun to collect too. And I'm just sticking those up there on the mantle as decor. Today we were lucky enough to find one of the first Shiny Brite boxes from 1939. This box has a red feather tree with Christmas ornaments on the front. The box originally sold for 39 cents and came in red, green, and the rare blue. The text on the bottom of the box varied by the factory's location. Now, this particular box had writing on the front, but for under $20 in 2025, it was still a steal. This seller had the retail tree box that was introduced in 1955. It had festive bulbs on the right and left sides of the box, a Shiny Brite garland on the top, and a Christmas tree in the center. It came in red and green and has a place for a price on the lower left-hand corner. Today I'm using plastic gold beads that I inherited from my parents on the Christmas tree, but glass beads were manufactured long before being used as Christmas decorations. Typically made for European jewelry, glass beads and tubes were used for fancy Victorian clothing and accessories. They were mouth-blown from hollow tubes of glass, separated by leaving a pike at each end, and then silvered on the inside. I also brought out some of my vintage magazines into the library. We have one from 1953, 1955, and 1957. And it looks like they went up about 5 cents every year or two. This one was only 15 cents, 20 cents, and 25 cents. I love looking at the ads in these old magazines. Check this one out. It's extra good for your hair. Helene Curtis's Shampoo Plus Egg with hair conditioning action, 2% fresh whole egg. Sounds pretty stinky and sticky to me. Definitely not what I want from my shampoo. This book was wrapped in cellophane at the antique store, and it wasn't until I got home later that day that I discovered this paint palette inside the booklet. I'm completely unfamiliar with how these coloring books worked in the 1950s, so if anyone out there had one of these, let me know. Was it normal for coloring books to use paintbrushes versus using colored pencils? I mean, there is a paintbrush on the front, so I guess I should have understood that from the beginning, but I'm assuming you would just wet your paintbrush and then use this color palette to paint the different pictures of Doris Day. And you can see, of course, she even has a dog with her. And then in the back, you had the cutout clothes. So I thought that was so cool. I'm definitely never going to use this. Like I said, this is one of my most prized possessions. It's gonna be a very vintage Christmas. Okay, let's head back out and find this box. This seller had a wide assortment of 1950s treasures, and I especially loved this darling typewriter. Like many other vendors, they had a large assortment of single ornaments for sale. But then I saw the holy grail of Shiny Brite boxes. At least, I thought it was the holy grail. On top of an antique dresser, there was 8 glorious Shiny Brite boxes. One box was the 1964 Festive Branch box, which I had been hoping to acquire. However, much to my dismay, the boxes had been glued together and adorned with sheet music. I must admit, my heart sunk when I saw this. Perhaps at $20 each, I should have bought them and tried to restore them to their former glory, but I have a feeling the glue would have been stronger than my will to revive them. The mod blue box, red medallion box, and gold scroll boxes from the mid to late 60s are lovely in their own way, but I prefer the older brown cardboard boxes when Eckardt was still alive. After my last video, 3 of you generously sent me the 1957 Christmas tree box, and some of these had very rare ornaments inside, and almost all of them had Shiny Brite caps. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart for sending these priceless treasures. I thought it would be cool to look at the box that predates this, that's very similar, but you couldn't see through it. It's the 1955 Merry Christmas, Happy New Year box. So this box right here, this was still a mail order box. So it wasn't really important for the consumer to see into the box because we were buying it at home and it was being shipped to us in a cardboard box. But by 1957, the war was over, America was doing great, and consumers wanted to see the ornaments. And so that is why this box is really so important, because it's really alluring as a consumer to be able to see all these beautiful balls inside this Christmas tree box. As I said in the last video, this is a patented box that was originally designed to ship fruit. So thank you so much again for this. And now the only box that I need to hunt for is the Merry Christmas, Happy New Year box from 1955. And then I think we have almost all of the ones that are in cardboard boxes. I went out to a few more antique stores looking for the Shiny Brite box from 1955. And even though I didn't find it today, I did find some more unique Christmas treasures. Check out these umbrella patio lights. Is anyone familiar with these? I googled them and I couldn't figure out what year they were made, although I'm guessing by the look and design of the bulbs themselves that they might be from the 60s or even the 70s. I also discovered some Christopher Radko Shiny Brite reproductions. I was shocked to see that they were $150. Do you think you would pay that for these swirling, twirling lights for your Christmas tree? And now I want to invite you inside the garden library for a full Christmas tour. We put 4 beautiful pine wreaths from our local nursery on the garden library window. And on this mirror that I got from Amazon many years ago, we put a lovely wreath from Jackson and Perkins. On the mantle, we have 8 Shiny Brite boxes, and we'll take a closer look at those in just a second. But before we head inside, I want to talk about my most prized Christmas ornament of all. That's my grandma's 1991 Mr. Christmas 12 Bells of Christmas collection. These are singing bells that light up while they play 12 wonderful Christmas carols. I really wanted to showcase them on the garden library Christmas tree, and that's why I only used red Shiny Brite ornaments on the tree to really showcase those gold bells as they play these beautiful Christmas carols. We put those gold beads that I inherited from my mom and dad on the tree. On the very top of the tree, we have a Christophii allium. A few glass icicles also adorn the tree. On the mantle, we have a lot of Shiny Brite boxes. Here we have one of the first boxes from 1946. That's the green Santa Claus and Uncle Sam box. In 1949, they introduced the red box. These 4 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4 that are the retail Christmas tree box are from 1957. And then the 2 boxes on the end are from 1963. We have some more rare Shiny Brite fancy ornaments adorning the mantle. Down here we have those fun magazines featuring Doris Day from the 1950s. And it's just a cozy spot to sit and enjoy Christmas memories from the past, present, and future. Thanks so much for joining me as we decorate the garden library for the holiday season. I'll see you sometime soon for another Christmas video that is sure to have tons of amaryllis in it. Bye, friends.